Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias. We are discussing current affairs of 16th March. So first topic is based on international relation, that is Russia coming out of International Space Station, right? Russia coming out of International Space Station. What is this International Space Station and why Russia come out? Russia, unknowingly we know that Russia invaded Ukraine, and after that USA imposed various sanctions on Russia because it invaded Ukraine, and in reaction Russia is saying that it is coming out of International Space Station. So recently after Russia invaded Ukraine, the US imposed sanctions on Russia, including a ban on transfer of technology. There is also a ban of transfer of technology to Russia and Russian banks. Also it has imposed economic sanctions. Then following the Russian space agency, Roscosmos, the space agency is named as Roscosmos, held that the state cooperation will not cooperate with Germany on joint experiments in the Russian segment of the International Space Station, right? So it will not cooperate to International Space Station, right? In International Space Station, it's a big project. It is the largest. It's a very big satellite inside which there is a laboratory. Many countries, many developed countries like USA, Japan, all the countries, Russia, all the countries have different responsibilities so far as International Space Station is concerned, right? It is a big project having around $100 billion, and in that the responsibility of Russia was cleaning the debris, killing the space debris. Space debris means the wastes that are generated because of various satellites, degenerated satellites that are called as space debris, and it was the responsibility of Russia to clean the space debris at least 11 times a year. Now it is saying that it will not cooperate with the international, it will not cooperate with the other countries, or it will not work in International Space Station. So what will happen? What may happen? It may happen that because of, if you will not clean the space debris, what will happen? The International Space Station, it is revolving around Earth. It is in the low Earth orbit. Remember, low Earth orbit. Our orbits are of three types. One is LEO, then medium Earth orbit, then a geosynchronous orbit. Then MEO, then geosynchronous orbit, right? This low Earth orbit, it starts from 180 kilometer to 2000 kilometer. This medium orbit, it starts from 2000 kilometer to 35,790 kilometer, and after 35,790 kilometer there is geosynchronous orbit. So the International Space Station, it is in low Earth orbit, approximately from around 400 kilometer from the surface of Earth. It's a big satellite. It's a very big satellite. It is the biggest satellite that human civilization ever sent to space, and every country contribute there. Every country has different contribution, and Russia is saying that I will not cooperate. I will not clear the space debris. If Russia will not clear space debris, what will happen? Maybe there will be space accident. Debris will collide with the International Space Station, and International Space Station may be destroyed because of that. If International Space Station will be destroyed, then what will happen? It will not fall on Russia. It will fall on, because the area of revolution of the International Space Station is near the equator, right? So those countries who are near the equator, maybe they will suffer because Russia will not cooperate, but Russia will not suffer because of that. So there are various issues that one by one we will look into, right? So we know that it is decided to come out of the, not to cooperate in International Space Station. Okay. The International Space Station is built with the cooperation of scientists from five international space agencies, that is US, NASA of US, Roscosmos of Russia, JAXA of Japan, Canadian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency. So these five countries have created International Space Station. It is very important for prelims perspective. NASA, JAXA, Canadian Space Agency, European Space Agency, and Roscosmos. Next, each agency has a role to play and share in the upkeep of the International Space Station. Every country has a role to play, both in terms of expense and effort. Right? Everybody is contributing monetarily and also contributing in physical form. That is, they have to do a certain role. It is not fit that a single country can support. Right? It's a huge project. There is a huge expenditure. So all the countries they are contributing each other, contributing in a combined manner. Then Russia's part in the collaboration is the module responsible for making course correction and the orbit of international course correction to the orbit of the International Space Station. That means on which orbit it will, that is determining the orbit where it will revolve around the Earth. Further, the Russian segment ensure that the space station orbit is corrected to keep away from space debris. It will be so that it will be keep away from space debris roughly 11 times a year. So it is approximately 11 times it in a year. It will ensure that there is no space debris in the path of the International Space Station. It also ferry astronauts to the International Space Station from the Earth and back. It is also the responsibility of Russia to ferry the astronauts from Earth to International Space Station. So these are the responsibilities of Russia. Here we have discussed that 5 countries. One is your European Space Agency, Canadian Space Agency, NASA, JAXA, and Roscosmos. These 5 countries, they have established International Space Station, and Russia is coming out of it. And one more thing is that Russia is responsible for course correction of the orbit. Another responsibility is clearing the debris around 11 times a year and ferrying the astronauts and coming them back to Earth. This was the responsibility of Russia, but it is not going to fulfill its responsibility again. What could be the impact of Russia's withdrawal? Due to the enormous weight and the ensuing drag, the International Space Station tends to sink from its orbit at a height of around 250 miles above the Earth, and it has to be pushed up to its original line of motion every now and then. Every time it has to push to the original line of motion, right, based on the orbits. If there is any problems regarding the debris or that is variable, and that need to be pushed off to its original line. Okay. Russia's withdrawing from the segment of ISS cooperation spacecraft could affect correcting the orbit. Right. This orbit correction job, this will be difficult. Right. This means that ISS could fall into sea or on the land. If the orbit correction is not done, then International Space Station that may fall into sea or land. ISS would like to crash down on some country, but most probably not Russia itself. Right? If it falls, then it will not fall in Russia. The orbit of the ISS does not fly over the Russian territory mostly. Where it flies, however, the dropping of ISS poses a greater threat to regions that is closer to the equator. Right? Because the orbit is near the equator. So if International Space Station breaks or falls, it will fall on those countries who are near the equator. Okay, but this is only a probability, as it can move or disintegrate. It can move or disintegrate both. In case of this, eventually people in the International Space Station will be brought back. If it happens, the people in the International Space Station will be brought back. Module can be detached, thereby making it smaller, which will ensure that it disintegrates before touching the Earth. Right. So if such, what is the way? If Russia doesn't help like that, what can be done? The people who are working there, they can be brought back, and also the International Space Station can be converted into different modules, and if they convert into small modules, then they will be disintegrate even before reaching the Earth. This is the only solution that lies today. Okay, next. What is International Space Station? Right? It is the most complex international scientific and engineering project in history and largest structure. It is the largest structure humans have ever put into space. Right? High flying satellite. It's a high flying satellite. Is a laboratory for new technology and observation platform for astronomical, environmental, geological research. Right? So it is the largest laboratory. It is the very big structure of human ever sent into space. As a permanently occupied outpost in the outer space, it serves stepping stone for further space exploration. Its role is very, very significant for space exploration. Then, the space station flies at an average altitude of 4,400 kilometers above Earth. At an average altitude of 400 kilometers above Earth, the space station flies. Okay. The circles of yes, and another thing is that it circles the globe in every 90 minutes at a speed of around 28,000 kilometers per hour. So it's above 400 kilometers that I have already said. It is in low Earth orbit and speed is around 28,000 kilometers. In one day the station travel about the distance that will take a go from Earth to Moon and come back. The space station can rival the brilliant planet Venus in brightness. It's bright like Venus, and it can be also seen and appears in a bright moving light across the night sky. So this is International Space Station. It is the biggest ever satellite that the world has sent to space. Another thing is that it's a big laboratory. Next, it is important, very important for space exploration. Then it is above 400 kilometer high of the surface. It is rotating with a speed of 28 kilometer per hour. And it is also visible at night, right? Okay, next. It can be seen from the Earth without the use of telescope by night sky observers who know when and where to look. Then 5 different space agencies representing 15 countries built US billion 100 billion international space station. Right? It was spent of 100 billion international space station. The International Space Station was taken into space piece by piece and then gradually built in the orbit, right? It was taken piece by piece, right? And then they got assembled. It consists of modules and connecting nodes that contain living quarters and laboratories, as well as exterior trusses that provide structural support and solar panels that provides power. There are solar power, there are solar panels that provides the power, and there is also exterior trusses that provide the structural support. Right. Next, the fast module Russia Zarya module launched in 1998. Russian Zarya module 1998. The fast space station crews were 3-person teams. Though after tragic Columbia shuttle disaster and crew size temporarily dropped to 2-person teams. The space station reached its full 6-person crew size in 2009. 6-person crew in 2009 as new models, laboratory and facilities were brought online. Current plans call for space station to be operated through at least 2020. NASA has requested to extension until 2024. So especially at current there is 6-person. It has potential. There is 6 at current International Space Station. The crew is around 6 people, and another thing is that it is taken piece by piece to the space and they all get assembled. This is all about your International Space Station, right, which is at 400 kilometer and rotating the Earth with a speed of 48,000 kilometer. Are there any substitutes to Russia? There are right now 2 possibilities: SpaceX Dragon module and Boeing Starliner can do. These 2 companies can dock with the ISS. Until SpaceX Dragon spacecraft came into the picture, the Russian spacecraft were the only way of reaching the ISS and returning. Right? SpaceX can, that is of Elon Musk, they can cooperate. Okay, next topic is social justice. That is Bahini Scheme. Remember this Bahini Scheme? Sikkim government has started it. Sikkim government, Bahini Scheme, that is started by Sikkim government, right, for prelims perspective. to install vending machines to provide free sanitary pads. It will install vending machines. That will provide free sanitary pads. This is the first time that state government has taken decision to cover all girls studying from class 9 to class 12. All girls, they will get free sanitary pads from class 9 to class 12. That is a scheme launched by Sikkim government called as Bahini Scheme. What is the purpose of the scheme? It aims to provide 100% access to free and 100% access to free sanitary pads to the secondary and senior secondary school going girls. 100% access to free and safe sanitary napkins to the senior secondary and secondary school girls. It also aims to curb the dropout of girls. The issue of dropout of girls regarding and raise awareness about menstrual hygiene. Right? We know that there are various issues regarding menstrual hygiene, and because of lack of awareness, and hardly 36% of women are using sanitary napkins, which is a threat to their hygiene. That's why various governments has take various steps, and Bahini is one such step by Sikkim government. And so it is providing free napkins, along with it will to reduce the dropout of girls. The scheme is based on experiment of state government initiative 2018 in collaboration with Sulabh International. Sulabh International, it is working as it is developing sanitation in various urban areas where vending machines were installed in some schools. Sulabh International is an India-based social service organization that works to promote human rights, environmental sanitation, non-conventional sources of energy, waste management, and social reforms through education. So this scheme is a joint collaboration between Sulabh International and the state government of Sikkim. Okay. What is the state of menstrual health in India? According to the National Family Health Survey, NFHS 4, National Family Health Survey, NFHS 4, 2015 and 16, India has 355 million menstruating women. However, only 36% of women were reported using sanitary napkins. This is the issue. Only 36% of women are using sanitary napkins, which is and because of lack of awareness as well, so many they are suffering from various health hazards. The percentage of women using menstrual products did improve significantly across the country, especially in Daman and Diu and Dadra Nagar Haveli, West Bengal and Bihar, as estimated in the first phase of recently released NFHS 5. Despite this, menstrual health remains a low priority issue in India, marred with taboos, same misinformation, poor access to sanitation facilities and menstrual products. Right? So there are various social stigma, there are various social taboo with respect to menstrual cycle, and there is also some and there are various health hygienic issues with respect to it. But the unfortunate thing is that only 36% women are using sanitary napkins. So that need to be addressed. Okay. Next. What are the issues? Social restrictions. Social restriction during menstruation violate women's rights to health and equality and privacy. Several anecdotes reveal that women and girls are kept in isolation, not allowed to enter religious spaces or kitchens, play outside, even go to school during the menstruation. So these things are prohibited in many areas. There are various types of isolation, and they are not allowed to go into kitchen, religious places, participating in public affairs, performing various rituals. They are not allowed. So there are social issues, restrictions that violates the right to health and right to privacy and right to equality. Then school dropout. A survey conducted under Integrated Child Development Services, ICDS, right? ICDS scheme by Ministry of Women and Child Development in 2018 and 19 reported more than 1/4 of total girls enrolled in class 6 to class 8 drop out of school as soon as they hit puberty, right? This is a big problem, right? As soon as they hit puberty, around more than 1/4 of the total girls. So around 25% of girls, they came out of schools as soon as they start menstruation cycle, and school dropout increases. So it's a big problem. So to reduce the school dropout, this is Bahini Scheme has it has initiated in the state of Sikkim. Then inconsistent access to education. The experience of menstruation for young girls is even more difficult due to inconsistent access to education on menstrual health and poverty. So that will lead to inconsistent education. Suppose they are not allowed to go to schools or any education or performing education or anything like that, then that will hamper their educational study. Okay, next, reduced participation in the workforce. Many employees see menstruating women as a problem as they associate periods with the inefficiency, right, in work and reduced participation in the workforce, right. Okay, there is anecdotal examples of corporate workplaces showing insensitivity towards menstruating women, fearing loss of productivity. Loss of productivity. This is a perception in the corporate class that women who during those periods there is lack of productivity, and that's also an issue. So there are various issues. One is, so we have discussed social restrictions regarding isolation of women during the menstrual cycle. Next is school dropout. One fourth of women are coming out of school since the day they hit puberty. Next, inconsistent access to education, that as restrictions are there, that will hamper their education. Then reduced participation in workforce, because corporates think that during the menstrual cycle they will be unproductive, they will be less efficient, right. Then what are the initiatives by central government? In 2015, central government introduced national guidelines for menstrual hygiene for management. Menstrual hygiene schemes 2011 and Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram. Menstrual hygiene scheme and Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram 2014 have been launched to promote menstrual hygiene amongst the adolescent girls in the age group of 18 to 19. Through the Suvidha initiative, there is also Suvidha initiative. The government distributed more than 5 crore brand sanitary pads. 5 crore brand sanitary pads of with rupees 1 from 6,000 Jan Aushadhi Kendraj. Suvidha initiative, right? Distribute sanitary pads with rupees 1. Then state government. Apart from a central government scheme, state government have also implemented programs to distribute sanitary pads in schools. Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha. In Odisha, this is Kushi scheme. Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala. Next, the Bihar government provides rupees 300 under Kishori Swasthya Yojana to adolescent girls to buy sanitary pads, right. So these are the various schemes by central government and state governments. One is Suvidha initiative, second is menstrual hygiene scheme 2011, Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram 2014, and various state governments has started their own schemes with respect to it. Next, what we need to do? The need of the hour is to focus on strategy that converges the key departments in the government, that is health, education and women. Health, education and women, because and child development, right? Child development to address various issues like reducing the social stigma or genetic menstrual awareness, and also educating them regarding menstrual hygiene and promoting uses of sanitary pads. Next, so all these ministries need to collaborate with each other and improves accountability towards the issues related to improves accountability, right, to issue related to menstrual health management. What is meant by accountability? If all these ministries are working, then why there is only 36% of women are using sanitary pads? That's the question. And if that they are not success, then who is responsible? If there is, if those ministries who are responsible, they must work to fulfill the objective. Next, the way forward lies in community-based approach. Yes, the public participation is highly essential. Community-based approach is highly essential. They must cooperate, in which local influencers and decision makers are sensitized. Local influencers and decision makers are sensitized to champion the issue, and behavioral change campaigns targeted by both by men and women deployed to displace myths and misconception. Myths and misconceptions. There are various myths and misconceptions. So community based approach, social workers, all they lead to create awareness so far as menstrual hygiene is concerned. There is also a huge opportunity to create public private collaboration to drive such campaigns and increase access to affordable menstrual hygiene products for rural and semi-urban regions. This could be done through installation of sanitary pad vending machines, in key public places, workplaces, schools, colleges, as well as Anganwadi centers and child care centers in rural areas. Okay, it is crucial to acknowledge that menstrual health is not just women issue, it is a matter of human rights. So what are the steps need to be taken at the government level? Various ministries like Women Ministry, Education Ministry and Health Ministry, they must cooperate with each other, right? Second part is that we need a community based approach. Community based approach means social workers, the influencer people, they must create awareness among the society that the myths regarding menstrual cycle need to be modified, and they must create awareness regarding menstrual health. Next, third part is with collaboration with the private sector and opening various vending machines to distribute sanitary pads in various public places like schools, Anganwadi kendras and other public spaces, and overall creating menstrual hygiene because it's a matter of human rights. Okay. So this topic is over. Next we will discuss blockchain gaming in India. Blockchain gaming. What is this blockchain? It's a new technology, right? New technology that has resurfaced. That is application is cryptocurrency. All of you know it is highly secure technology. Blockchain technology, highly secure technology, right? And another thing is that there is no authority over blockchain technology, right? It is decentralized technology. It's like a chain, and there is nobody is the authority of blockchain technology, and it is based on cryptocurrency. That means cryptocurrency funds the blockchain technology. There is no regulator of blockchain technology. Based on it, there is blockchain gaming. What is this blockchain gaming? The vast scope and potential of blockchain technology had attracted the gaming industry over the past few years. India too, gaming industries are exploring this option. Blockchain is a decentralized database that stores information. It relies on technology that allows for the storage of identical copies of this information on multiple computers in a network. It relies on technology that allows storage of identical copies of this information in multiple computers in a network. Okay, it is a decentralized database that stores information. Decentralized, right? Blockchain technology, it is based on blockchain technology. Okay, gradually next know. Okay, India is various people are observing it has a potential of gaming, right? How gaming can be developed, and that can be as an industry, how it can be developed by application of blockchain technology. We can apply blockchain technology in various fields like pharmaceuticals, in research, and in computing, in storage of data, storing critical information, storing critical information, and communication, banking, transactions, equity shares. In all sectors, this blockchain technology can be applied. Also, it can be applied in gaming. Okay, blockchain games are online video games that are developed integrating blockchain technology into them. It includes elements that use cryptography. Cryptography means highly secure. It is secure between the two people. Now third people will be able to see it. It is truly secure. If at present which produces highest security, then it is the blockchain technology, right? It's just almost impossible to hack blockchain technology. To hack a banking transaction in blockchain technology, it's almost impossible. Based on blockchain technology like cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens. These elements are used by players to buy, sell and trade with other players. Buy, sell and play with other players, with the game publisher taking a fee from each transaction as a form of monetization. There is a fee for each transaction, and people can buy, sell and trade with other players in blockchain gaming. Example of blockchain game: 2017, Dapper Labs have developed fast ever blockchain game called as CryptoKitties. In the game, people can virtually experience the joy of adopting and breeding a cat, CryptoKitty, without taking up the responsibility of bringing one home. Each CryptoKitty is a non-fungible token. Right? It's a new type of game where you will use CryptoKitty, and that is a new type of game. You will enjoy that you are, keeping a cat. Okay, unless you do it, you cannot experience. So just remember it. Next, what are the elements of blockchain games? NFTs represent in-game virtual assets that can be owned by players, such as maps or armor or land. Virtual assets. In-game virtual assets can be owned by the players. These NFTs act as asset tags, identify ownership of the in the game assets, and are stored in blockchain. So some assets will be stored in blockchain, and you can sell it, you can buy it, right? That is blockchain gaming. Being in the blockchain allows the player to have a secure record of ownership. Secure record of ownership of the game assets also gives assets the ability to outlive the game itself. So you can purchase, you can purchase some assets, you can also sell some assets. If you win, you will get profit with the assets, and your assets are secure in the blockchain technology. Based on the manner in which the games are designed, it is also allows for the in-game assets to be transferred from one game to another. You can transfer the assets from the one game to another game, and you can use more assets. That is blockchain gaming. It also creates transparency. Ownership records can independently verified by the can independently be verified as a third party as well. It's also create transparency, since ownership is records, right? Ownership records, who has how much money, that can be verified by the third party. In doing so, makes in-game assets marketable and creates decentralized market where they can be bought and sold by the people. So you can play, you can win, you can sell, you can get the profit. All these things can be done by blockchain gaming. It's like a business. You play and also you play an internet and play, and also you can earn money. Okay. Next, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency such as tokens based on the Ethereum blockchain may be used for purchase of game assets. Cryptocurrency, Ethereum or your Ripple or your Bitcoin, they can be used to purchase the blockchain games in-game assets. Then these in-game purchases usually enable gamers to buy items like extra lives, coins, so on directly from the game. So they can buy the assets of game by using the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is the application of blockchain technology, right? Like your Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Then, what is the legality of games in India? Legal jurisdiction. What are the legal jurisdiction? The state legislatures are by entry number 34 of list 2, that is state list in the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India, given exclusive power to make laws relating to betting and gambling. So it's coming under state list, right? So the betting and gambling or games, these are coming under the state list under entry 34 of 7th schedule of the Constitution. In 7th schedule there are 3 lists, that is state list, concurrent list and union list. In state list this gaming is coming, so legal jurisdiction falls on the state. State can make law with respect to it. Only state can make law with respect to it. Okay. Then types of games in India. Most Indian states regulate gaming on the basis of distribution of law between games of skill and games of chance. Games of skill and games of chance, these type of games are distinct. Okay, types of test type of the game. As such, dominant element of the test be utilized to determine whether chance or skill is a dominating element. Chance or skill is a dominating element. Where skill is not a dominating element, they are not, those types are not recognized. The dominant element may be determined by examining whether factors such as superior knowledge, training, experience, expertise, attention of a player have material aspect impact on the outcome of the game. So this is the factors: superior knowledge, training, experience, expertise, and attention of player. If they are the material, if they can impact the result of the game, then that are recognized by the state. Then status of the type of game allowed: stacking money, property on the outcome of a game of chance is prohibited. You cannot, it will be like gambling, right? Stacking money by which you will pay, I mean like game of chance. You suppose in a particular game of chance you will earn so much money, in such case they are prohibited. However, placing any stakes on the outcome of game of skill is not illegal per se, or may be permissible. Placing any stakes, right, in a game of skill, in cricket, suppose you are, in certain cases, in a game of skill, if you are, promising certain amount of money or monetary benefit, they may be permissible. It is important to know that the Supreme Court recognized that no game is purely game of skill, and almost all games have an element of chance. So we cannot say that only game of skill, we can allow only game of skill. There is almost all games have game of chance. Some also requests that it need to be legalized, right? This betting and gambling, they need to be legalized. In certain states like Goa, they have different laws, right? Varies from state to state. There is casinos, they are full game of chance. Okay, next. Then common gaming house. Another concept of common gaming house, in most states, is the idea of a common gaming house. Owning, keeping, and having charge of a common gaming house, or being present for the purpose of gaming in any such common gaming house, is ordinarily prohibited in terms of the state gaming laws. So state gaming, this gaming is prohibited in state gaming house. In various states, state gaming houses are prohibited. Common gaming house is defined as a house, walled enclosure, room or place which instruments gaming are kept and used for the profit or gain. They are not allowed. Pertinently, courts have clarified in the past that mere charging an extra fee to facilitate playing the game and maintain the facilities may not necessarily seen as a making gain or profit. So anybody who wants to welcome some people to play in his home and charging a certain amount of money, that will not be violation of law. Okay, these are the laws regarding gaming. Next, what is the blockchain where does the blockchain gaming within the framework? Since blockchain is merely the underlying technology, there is no express regulation fit in India. It's a new type of technology that is coming. We have to amend our IT Act, we have to amend our Evidence Act to deal with the new age crime, to deal with the new age development of technology, right? We can say that they are coming under residuary powers, and Supreme Parliament may make a law with respect to it. Okay, it is important to note that most of the gaming laws were brought into effect prior to the internet era, and therefore only contemplate regulation of gaming activities taking place in physical premises. Most of the gaming laws were brought into effect prior to the internet era. So after gaming, those are present after the internet has evolved. We didn't have developed any such regulation. However, law currently stands: each blockchain game must pass most of the game of skill. Right? You must show that it is a game of skill, not a game of chance. If it is a game of chance, then it is illegal. Right? So it must pass that it is a game of skill. Then it will be legally available. It is also relevant to note that in the past, Supreme Court has rejected the notion of video games being game of skills. Okay, it held that outcomes of these games could be manipulated by the tampering with the machines used to play. Therefore, element of skill of players could not be dominant factor of the game. Element of skill of players, it cannot be dominant factor. So there is no such consensus between the Supreme Court and legislature, because these machines can be tampered, and in an online video game or in online games, there is chances that it's not purely based on skill, right? That's why it is very difficult to allow. So far legislative framework is concerned, we do not have a comprehensive legislative framework to deal with such type of new age games. So it is very difficult to say whether this blockchain gaming will be allowed or not. So since developers and publishers of blockchain games are likely to earn revenue charge fee for offering such games, it does raise questions over whether they may be seen as playing role analogous to that played by the common gaming houses under Indian law. So these developers, they will be given legal back or not, that is also a debatable issue, because we allow common gaming houses. We have discussed what is common gaming houses. If you are charging a few amount of money, and that cannot be called as profit, and that is permissible. Further, legality of blockchain games relies on the legality of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not legal, right? In India is developing digital currency, it is not legal in India. And if you are playing the online game, that is blockchain game, then you have to use cryptocurrency to buy those assets. So how that can be legal? What is that you have bought in illegal money? Next, budget 2023 announced that income from the transfer of any virtual digital assets, which include cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens, would be subject to income tax at the rate of 30%. If you are incoming, then you are subject to income tax. Policy pronouncement of this nature would need to be carefully considered by the publishers of blockchain games while designing their pricing models. Okay. So in a nutshell, there is no clear-cut legislation with respect to as blockchain technology is concerned. It uses cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency is banned in India. Another thing is that our present legislations, they are coming under state list, and various states are different laws. And one more thing is that it is so far as Supreme Court is concerned, it is saying that in India gaming by skill is legally permissible, not gaming by chance. But Supreme Court says that by making some modification in the technology, it is possible to make it gaming by chance also, that is possible. No game is completely game of skill, there is always a chance. So there is, it's a debatable issue, and that issue has not made clear, and blockchain technology, blockchain gaming developers need to be careful about this issue. Then what are the intellectual property protection that may be available in blockchain games? Section 3K of the Patent Act 1970. Computer programs are per se not inventions and hence cannot be patented. They cannot be patented. However, judicial pronouncement in the past have clarified that if an invention has a technical contribution or technical effect and not merely computer program, then it would be patentable, right? If it is not a merely computer program, it has technical contribution, then they can get patent. Thus, patent of a blockchain game may be sought if it meets the requirements of the novelty involving inventive step and industrial application. If there is any development in technology, then can claim for patent or copyright, that is intellectual property right. Trademark. A trademark is used as an identifying mark to determine the source of a particular good or service, and is obtained to protect the goodwill of the reputation of the brand. Any distinguishing mark of blockchain game or NFT that would allow consumers to identify the source of that particular game or NFT can be trademarked. Suppose you are a company who is developing a particular game, and you want to make your brand, like for example Reliance, the products that are produced by Reliance, that is a brand of Reliance, right? It is a brand of Tata. Similarly, if any company they wish to make a brand, to mention a brand, they can also claim the trademark, right? Copyrights. In India, artistic work, musical work, cinematographic, dramatic works, all are copyright reserved. As you can see in very music files, they are copyright reserved. You cannot upload the same music that is produced by A.R. Rahman, and YouTube will not allow it, and you can earn from that. You cannot earn from that, right? Computer software, all are capable by copyrights. All are capable to protect it under copyrights law. Although There is no specific provision for Copyright Act that deals with video games. Copyright protection of video games may be sought under the category of multimedia products. There is specifically no such, copyright provision for video games or online or blockchain games. So what need to be done? The use of blockchain technology for online games likely to be beneficial for game developers, publishers, and players. Right? It may be a business source of business. However, key to their growth and regulation, which ensures that this is permissible to offer such games in the Indian territory, also offers protection in the form of intellectual property rights. Key to their growth. So regulation is essential. Regulation is essential. Permission is essential to develop intellectual property right or develop the business, gaming business. Other concerns are the privacy and cyber security, along with how financial regulation would apply to blockchain games would not need to be addressed. So privacy need to be secure. And how these financial regulations will apply. That means we are blocking the blockchain, we are blocking cryptocurrency, so we are not allowing cryptocurrency, and how they will use the blockchain, how cryptocurrency will be used, or how they will purchase the assets in blockchain gaming, that's also issue. So all these issues need to be resolved. That will be a source of income for many people. Okay. Next feeling sparked, that is Dandi March. What is Dandi March? Why it is in news? Prime Minister paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and all eminent persons who marched Dandi in 1930 in order to protest injustice and protect our nation from self-esteem. Earlier in 2021, commemorative Dandi March was launched, which was undertaken by the 81 marchers from Sabarmati Ashram, Ahmedabad to Dandi in Navsari, a journey of 386 km. A journey of 386 km. Gandhi is during the civil disobedience movement, right? Breaking the salt law. He has started this Dandi March, that is covering a journey of 386 km at present, right? Gandhi has started again along with his 78 followers, right? 241 mile, that was 241 miles and 78 followers. It started in 6th April 1930. It's very important. 6th April 1930. It started in 12th March 1930 to 6th April 1930. Dandi March, this is the time period from 12 March 1930 to 6th April 1930 to break the salt law. Dandi March is also known as Salt March or Dandi Satyagraha, right? To break the salt law at Dandi, Gandhi has started this journey from his Sabarmati Ashram. It was an act of civil disobedience. Right? Civil disobedience movement. It's an act of civil disobedience. On 12th March, Gandhiji set out Sabarmati 28 followers on 241 mile march to the coastal town of Dandi in Arabian Sea to break the salt law. There, Gandhi and his supporters defy British policy of making no salt by making salt from sea water. Right? So this is Dandi March, started in 12th March 1930 up to 6th April 1930. They covered around 240 miles. There are 78 followers of Dandi. They went from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in near Arabian Sea and to break salt directly from the sea water. Okay. Next. At Dandi, thousands more followed his lead in the coastal cities of Bombay and Karachi. Indian nationalists led crowds of citizens making salt. Civil disobedience broke out all across India, soon involving millions of Indians, and British authorities arrested more than 60,000 people. Around 60,000 people arrested in Dandi March. Gandhiji himself was arrested in 5th May. But the Satyagraha continued without him. In 21st May, poet Sarojini Naidu led 2,500 marches in Dharsana Satyagraha, right? Dharsana salt works. Sarojini Naidu, you need to remember this name because once they have asked in prelims, UPSC prelims regarding Chakravarti Rajgopalachari, right? 150 miles in North Bombay, Dharsana in North Bombay. Okay, the incident recorded. American journalist Webb Miller prompted international outcry against British policy in India. Okay, in January 1931, Gandhiji was released from prison. He later met with Lord Irwin The Viceroy of India agreed to call off the Satyagraha in exchange for equal negotiating role at a London conference on India's future. In August 1931, Gandhiji travelled to the conference as sole representative of the Nationalist Indian Congress, that is our roundtable conference, and the meeting was a disappointment. The British leaders had acknowledged him as a force they could not suppress or ignore. Right? So this is about your Dandi March. Right? Next. So background. What is the background of Dandi March? Why it started? Lahore Congress 1929 Purna Swaraj Resolution. Remember, Purna Swaraj Resolution started in Lahore Congress of 1929. Authorized Congress Working Committee to launch program civil disobedience, including non-payment of taxes. So Lahore Congress authorized Congress Working Committee to launch civil disobedience movement against the British. On 26 January 1930, Independence Day was observed. 26 January 1930, first Independence Day. Independence Day was observed. 26 January 1930. Within the national flag, and we hosted at different venues, patriotic slogans and songs. The February 1930 CWC meeting at Sabarmati Ashram invested Gandhiji with full powers to launch the civil disobedience movement at a time and place of his choice. Right? In February 1930, Gandhiji, the Congress Working Committee given full power to Gandhiji to start civil disobedience movement anytime he wishes. Gandhi's ultimatum to Lord Irwin, Viceroy of India. Lord Irwin, Viceroy of India, 1926 to 31. Name of the timeline, 1926 to 31. Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed, right? Stating the minimum demands that have been ignored, and there was only way out civil disobedience, right? Gandhiji was laid down 11 demands, and that are ignored by the Lord Irwin. That's why civil disobedience launched. Okay. So what are the effect of the movement? Civil disobedience movement, different forms are continued, different provinces, special states was led to boycott foreign goods. In East boycott of foreign goods. In Eastern India, payments of Chowkidar tax was refused. Especially in Eastern India, payments of Chowkidari tax was refused. No tax campaign become popular in Bihar. No tax campaign become popular in no taxation without representation. In Bengal, Jain Sengupta defied government laws by reading openly the books banned by the government. Jain Sengupta reading openly the books banned by government. Defiance of forest laws assumed mass character in Maharashtra. Defiance of forest law. The movement has taken hold provinces in UP, has taken a fire hold in the provinces of UP, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Assam. So it is a pan-India movement, and that is the impact of the civil disobedience movement. There is boycott of foreign goods, no tax campaign in Bihar, open reading the banned books, and forest laws banning, defiance of forest laws in Maharashtra, and in various provinces around whole in pan-India basis. The effect has been seen in the that is the civil disobedience movement. Right? The significance, various significance. What are the significance of civil disobedience movement? Imports from Britain has fallen considerably. For example, imports of Britain has fallen by half. Cloth fallen by half. The movement was more widespread than the previous one. Mass participation including women, peasants, workers. Right? Women, peasants, workers, urban elements, merchants, shopkeepers provided the Congress new all India status, because we know that the non-cooperation movement, the NCM movement, that was stopped abruptly after the Chori incident. Right? It was not getting the full potential, and that is the second movement. The Gandhiji has a policy of struggle, and after stopping the non-cooperation movement, Gandhi again started the civil disobedience movement, and he has seen huge amount of population from all sections. The support that movement has garnered from the poor and also illiterate, both in town and country, was remarkable. So many people have joined. For Indian women movement was the most liberating experience, for Indian women to date, and can be truly said to have marked their entry into public space. Although Congress withdrew the civil disobedience in 1934, the movement received global attention and marked the critically important stage in the progress of anti-imperialist struggle. In the progress of anti-imperialist struggle, it was very critical, and It was a very significant movement that become mass movement, right? Okay, so this is all about your civil movement. Next, we will see the objective questions. What is the purpose of Evolved Laser Interference in Space Antenna (ELISA) project? To detect the gravitational waves. ELISA project is to detect gravitational waves that is related to the Big Bang theory or origin of Earth. Okay. Next, what are the terms? Billet 2 experiment. This is related to particle physics, right? Detection of measures, particle physics. This is not artificial intelligence. Blockchain technology is data cryptocurrency. This is right answer. CRISPR-Cas9. This is related to biotechnology, right? Gene editing, biotechnology. Biotechnology. CRISPR-Cas9 is related to biotechnology. Blockchain technology, data cryptocurrency, and build 2 that is related to particle physics. So here answer is 2 only. All the options are wrong. Next. Bahini Scheme. We have already discussed. Sikkim government has started it. Here it is given Odisha government, so it is wrong. Sikkim Odisha government, it is Khushi scheme. It aims at providing 100% access to free and safe sanitary pads to secondary and senior secondary school going girls in the land slopes to the west from central India. So second option is right. Providing 100% access to free and safe sanitary pads to secondary and higher secondary schools, secondary girls, and this scheme was started by Sikkim government, that is Bahini Scheme. Dandi March, that is civil disobedience movement, started in 12th March from Sabarmati to Dandi to break the salt law by Gandhiji. Next. The 1929 session of Indian National Congress significance the freedom movement because attainment of self-government. No, self-government is 1905 or 1906 in both years. Non-cooperation movement launched 1999. Decision to participate round table conference in London. That is after that. So attainment of Purna Swaraj is the goal. Jawaharlal Nehru was the president. Attainment of Purna Swaraj resolution 1929. Right? Okay. So for this today, here the lecture ends. Like this video, share this video, encourage us to continue this program. Thank you.